Look up at the night sky. On a clear night, you can see thousands of stars. In the observable universe, there are an estimated 2 trillion galaxies. Each galaxy holds hundreds of billions of suns, and orbiting those suns are trillions of habitable worlds. The B, why all mathematical models. The universe should be teeming with life. It should be loud, a chaotic, vibrant highway of interstellar chatter, alien radio waves, and cosmic engineering. But it isn't. Instead, when we point our most advanced telescopes into the deep void, we are met with a suffocating, absolute silence. This is the Fermi Paradox, the agonizing mathematical contradiction between the high probability of alien life and the total lack of evidence for it. For decades, scientists have tried to answer this paradox with comfortable theories. They say maybe the distances are too vast. Maybe we are the first to evolve. Or to understand the terror of the dark forest, we must first understand the math that drove brilliant minds to madness. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi was walking to lunch with his colleagues. They were discussing recent UFO sightings and the probability of interstellar travel. Fermi sat down, took a bite of his food, and asked a deceptively simple question that would haunt humanity forever. Where is everybody? Think about the timeline. Our universe is roughly 13.8 billion years old. Earth, however, is relatively young, only about 4.5 billion years old. Human civilization has only possessed advanced technology like radio towers and rockets for a little over a century. Now, imagine a planet just like Earth, orbiting a star just like our Sun, but it formed just 100 million years earlier than us. In cosmic terms, 100 million years is the blink of an eye. It's nothing. But think about what humanity could achieve in 100 million years of uninterrupted technological growth. We went from the Wright brothers' first wooden airplane to landing on the moon in less than 70 years. In 100 million years, an alien civilization shouldn't just have radios. They should have colonized their entire galaxy. They should have built Dyson spheres, megastructures that wrap around stars to harvest their entire energy output. Astronomer Nikolai Kardashev categorized these hypothetical super civilizations into 3 types. A type 1 civilization can harness all the energy of its home planet. A type 2 can harness the energy of its star. A type 3 can control the energy of its entire galaxy. That if even one type 3 civilization existed in our cosmic neighborhood, their presence would be blindingly obvious. Their infrastructure would distort the light of the stars. Their communication networks would fill the vacuum of space with electromagnetic noise. Yet we see nothing. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, has been scanning the sky since the 1960s. We have listened to thousands of star systems. The result? Nothing but cosmic background hiss. For decades, we assumed that life must be incredibly rare. We assumed that the conditions for intelligence to evolve are a cosmic miracle, a lottery ticket that only Earth happened to win. We told ourselves that we are alone because we are special. But what if we aren't alone? What if the universe is crawling with type 2 and type 3 civilizations, all perfectly capable of screaming across the cosmos? But they are intentionally, desperately keeping their mouths shut. The phrase dark forest theory comes from the minds of sci-fi author Liu Cixin in his groundbreaking masterpiece novel, The Dark Forest. To explain why the universe remains silent, he asks us to strip away all human romance, all our sci-fi fantasies of peaceful federation alliances like Star Trek, and look at life through the brutal, unyielding lens of cosmic sociology. Cosmic sociology relies on 2 foundational axioms, 2 absolute laws that apply to every single living thing in the universe, regardless of what they look like or what planet they call home. Axiom number 1. The primary baseline need of survival is non-negotiable. Before a culture can create art, before it can philosophize, before it can explore, it must ensure it will not be destroyed. Axiom number 2. Civilizations continuously grow and expand, but the total matter and resources in the universe remain constant. Let those two rules sink in. Every civilization needs to live, and every civilization needs to grow. But the universe is a finite pie. Space, energy, minerals, habitable planets. There's only so much to go around. This creates an immediate, fundamental, mathematical conflict. Expansion is an existential necessity, and resources are limited. Now, if two civilizations discover each other across the vast gulf of space, you might think their first instinct would be to talk, to trade, to learn from one another. But Liu Cixin explains that true communication between different species separated by light years is an absolute impossibility. It is blocked by two terrifying concepts: the chains of suspicion and the technological explosion. That let's break down the first concept, the chain of suspicion. Imagine Civilization A detects a signal from Civilization B. Civilization A has no idea what Civilization B looks like, how they think, or what their moral code is. Civilization A must ask themselves, are they benevolent or malicious? Let's assume Civilization A guesses that Civilization B is benevolent. But then, the chain tightens. Civilization A must ask, does Civilization B think that we are benevolent or malicious? Even if both civilizations are entirely peaceful, neither can ever know or trust that the other is peaceful. Because in the game of ultimate survival, a single miscalculation means total extinction. You cannot risk the survival of your entire species on the hope that a completely alien mind shares your definition of empathy. But it gets worse.
We are finished here.
Enter the second concept, the technological explosion. Civilization A looks across the void and sees Civilization C. But Civilization C is primitive. They are just learning to use electricity. They are still fighting wars with primitive combustion weapons. They pose absolutely zero threat to Civilization A, which has already colonized 3 star systems. Should Civilization A leave them alone? According to the Dark Force theory, absolutely not. Because of the law of the technological explosion, humanity has been around for roughly 300,000 years. For 299,900 of those years, our progress was a flat, slow line. We used sticks, stones, and horses. But in the last 150 years, our technological curve didn't just bend, it exploded vertically into the stratosphere. We unlocked the atom. We created the internet. We are now building artificial intelligence that can outthink its creators, that in cosmic terms. 150 years is a literal microsecond. If Civilization A decides to be kind and leave the primitive Civilization C alone, they are making a fatal bet against time. Because of the vast distances of space, it might take 1,000 years for Civilization A ships to reach Civilization C. Could be why the time Civilization A ships arrive, that primitive civilization could have experienced a technological explosion. They could have surpassed civilization completely. The hunter arrives to find that the prey has spent the last 1,000 years building weapons of mass destruction, specifically designed to kill the hunter. I am the dark cosmos. Civilization development is not linear. It is exponential, unpredictable, and explosive. Therefore, weakness today is not a guarantee of safety tomorrow. An indigenous, primitive planet is simply a future superpower that hasn't unlocked its potential yet. When you combine these factors, the absolute need for survival, the constant demand for resources, the unbreakable chains of suspicion, and the constant threat of a technological explosion, you are left with a horrific cold mathematical truth. There is no room for diplomacy. There is no room for trust. There is only one logical, rational, and safe action for an advanced civilization to take when they discover another life form. They must eliminate it immediately, before it can expand, before it can explode technologically, and before it can do the same to them. This brings us to the core analogy of the theory. Let us read the words of Liu Cixin directly, as they outline the most terrifying description of our universe ever written. The universe is a dark forest. Every civilization is an armed hunter stalking through the trees like a ghost, gently pushing aside branches that block the path and trying to tread without sound. Even breathing is done with care. The hunter must be careful, because everywhere in the forest are stealthy hunters like him. If he finds other life, another hunter, an angel or a demon, a delicate infant or a tottering old man, a fairy or a demigod, there's only one thing he can do: open fire and eliminate them. In this forest, a campfire is a death sentence. A flashlight beam is suicide. This explains the Fermi Paradox. The universe isn't empty. The forest is packed with hunters. But the hunters are smart. They know the rules of the game. They keep their lights off. They conceal their planets. They absorb their radio emissions. They move through the cosmic dark in absolute, terrified silence. The reason we hear nothing from the stars is not because there is no one out there. It is because everyone out there is hiding from everyone else. And then there is us, humanity. For the last century, humanity has acted like an innocent, clueless child dancing in the center of this dark forest, shining a massive spotlight around itself.
Unauthorized
and
access
screaming
detected.
into the night. We
Transmission
are here.
sequence aborted.
Is anyone out there? We want to be your friends.
Echo 6,
We have leaked television
They're
signals,
everywhere. We need air
military
support now.
radar, and mobile network frequencies into deep space. Our radio bubble now extends over 200 light years in all directions, touching hundreds of star systems that we didn't just leak signals accidentally. We sent them on purpose. In 1974, we broadcasted the Arecibo message toward a cluster of stars 25,000 light years away, containing our DNA structure, our population, and our exact location in the solar system, that we launched the Voyager probes, carrying golden records that contain maps showing exactly how to find Earth using cosmic pulsars as a guide. We gave away our home address to a dark, silent forest, but we did this because our scientists were optimists. They grew up on stories of peaceful alien visitors. They assumed that advanced intelligence must equal advanced morality. But if the dark forest theory is correct, we have committed the ultimate cosmic sin. We have given away our coordinates to a forest full of silent
Enemy
predators.
fleet detected.
You might think this is
Weapon
just
power.
science fiction, a brilliant plot device for a novel, but not something real
Analyzing
scientists take
incoming data
seriously.
stream.
You would
Subject
be wrong
B
that I am the
detected.
scientific
Status,
community. There's
passive
a fierce,
observation.
ongoing, and deeply serious debate between
All
two factions.
non-essential power
SETI,
systems shutting
search
down.
for extraterrestrial
Seek
intelligence.
shelter immediately.
And METI, messaging extraterrestrial intelligence. .SETI is passive. It sits back and listens. Is safe. METI is active. It designs powerful transmitters to intentionally blast high-energy signals toward targeted star systems.
Sector Gamma
trying
is
to promote
clear.
a response. And many of the world's
to the next
greatest
checkpoint.
minds have warned that METI could lead to our extinction. The late, legendary physicist Stephen Hawking was one of the most vocal critics of active messaging. He repeatedly warned humanity to keep a low profile. He famously stated, "If aliens visit us, the outcome would be much as when Columbus landed in America, which didn't turn out well for the Native Americans. We only have to look at ourselves to see how intelligent life might develop into something we wouldn't want to meet. Think about our own history. Whenever an advanced human civilization encountered a less technologically advanced civilization, the results were almost always catastrophic for the weaker group. Slavery, colonization, resource exploitation, and genocide.
Tide
And
rises.
that is between members of the same species who share the same biology, the same emotions, the same planet. Now imagine that encounter, but magnified by a million years of technological disparity and a completely alien psychology that feels absolutely zero biological empathy for human suffering. To a Type 3 civilization, destroying Earth wouldn't be an act of hatred. It wouldn't be an act of malice. The IT would simply be clearing a potential hazard, like a human construction crew destroying an anthill to build a highway. You don't hate the ants, you just don't care. Scientist and author David Brin is another major figure who has called for a global moratorium on betting. He argues that we have no right to broadcast Earth's location without
The fleet is ready.
a small group of optimistic scientists broadcasting signals into space are risking the lives of every single human being on this planet without asking for permission. Under the rules of the Dark Forest, if our signals hit an advanced civilization sensor array, they won't send a reply. The Dark Forest theory is a bitter pill to swallow. It strips away the beauty of the stars and replaces it with cold, calculating paranoia. It turns the universe from an open ocean of discovery into a claustrophobic nightmare. But perhaps there's a strange comfort hidden within this terror.
Hull
For
breach
decades,
detected.
we have looked
Life
out at the
support
silent
failing.
universe and
Requesting
felt
immediate
deeply,
assistance.
profoundly lonely. We worried that the silence meant we were a cosmic fluke, doomed to live and die on this tiny blue rock entirely alone in an empty desert. But the Dark Forest tells us a different story. The silence isn't a sign of emptiness.
They are unaware
It is a sign
of
of
the
life.
fracture.
The universe is full
Soon,
of brilliant,
the harvest will
ancient,
begin.
wondrous civilizations.
Fire the
The
main
cosmos
weapon.
is alive,
Destroy
breathing,
the
and
target.
crowded beyond belief. They're out there, watching, surviving. That we just need to learn to be quiet. We need to turn off our lights. We need to stop screaming into the night. We need to
Cepheus
grow up,
gate is collapsing.
step back into the
All
shadows
hands
of our own
brace for
solar
impact.
system, and learn to walk through the
Shield
forest
harmonics
like
are
ghosts,
failing,
because
Captain.
the forest is beautiful, but the hunters are
They
always
call
listening.
themselves humans.
Thank you for watching. If this video
They
sent a
offer
shiver
music.
down your spine,
I'm so
hit the
glad you
like
made
button,
it.
subscribe to the channel,
The atmosphere
and turn on
is
notifications so you never miss our deep
should
dives into
definitely
the
do this
cosmos. Let
Ensure
me know in the comments
coordinates
below.
are secure.
Do you think we should keep
They
listening
are.
to the stars,
Transmission
or is it
ending.
time for humanity to shut up? Until next time,
The ancient
stay safe
darkness.
and don't make too much noise.